Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Been here from Elliott Wave Pro. I'll start with Bitcoin. I put out a idea on TradingView on Wednesday, I think it was. We got this trend line break here, and I was looking for the buy first target up here. So we got, it's moving up, but it's very slow. And if we look here, we're starting to get bearish divergence. So starting to get bearish divergence between here. So if you took it anywhere in here at the break of this top, you really want to be moving it to break even. Because if we have a look at H4, I'm looking for, we got this correction here, and I'm looking for a correction here. Now, this was a contracting flat in here. That's how I had it. I said in that idea that it's a dangerous trade, pretty risky trade to take this, because this here can become a larger structure before we get this Z up. So this can be the A, and A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C before we get that Z up. So it's important if you're in this trade here to move it to break even, because we can get that move down. So how we can trade this is on H1. If you're in the trade, just stay in it, move it to break even, and we got the targets. I've given you the targets here. So we got the first target, the second target, and the third target. Like I said, on H1 we do have that bearish divergence, and there is a possible of the larger structure on the H4. So if we draw a trend line in here, as long as this trend line holds, as long as this trend line here holds, stay in the trade. If we get a break, if this does break and give you a bear flag or a correction in here, get out of this trade. Just take a small profit, or you can just leave it at break even and and look for the sell in here if you get that sell. But because if we have a look at here, we've got a WX, YX, and this is our Z up. Now this Z up isn't over yet. So this still can just go straight up here. So yeah, it's important to move the break even. And once we get this trend line break, look to take profit. This is your first target here. Definitely take half off here. If price gets up to here, definitely take half off. So that's pretty much Bitcoin. Like I said, you can look for that sell. If we get something like this, you can look for that sell for the C down, okay, on the H4. WTI, during the week, we got this, I didn't put out an idea on it, but I looking for this sell down for the C wave. But if we have a look at this, I'm expecting more upside in this, probably to go and close this gap up here. We're starting to get bearish divergence here. We did get a crossover on the MACD down here, and we are getting that bearish divergence. So if you're not in the trade, I wouldn't go looking for buys. You can only scalp this now, because we're getting all that divergence. So yeah, I'd just stay out of this if you're not in the buys. Pretty much just stay out of it for now. Gold as well. Gold, a couple of weeks ago, we had this triangle in here. And I said, if you get the break, be very careful because it just break this top and then come back down. Now, we're getting a correction in. I still am looking for this in here as a correction. And we go and break this top up here. We go and at least break this top here. There's really not much room up. We're getting a lot of bearish divergence. You can see it on the H4. We got a lot of bearish divergence. So again, there's not much really to trade. Last week was very quiet. Like started getting impulses, and then we wasn't getting the setup to actual trade. So I was sitting on the sideline a lot, and I dare say this week might be a little bit different. We do have a lot of news out this week, non-farm payroll, etc. But yeah, we do have the only way you can really trade this gold here now is to wait for this, and we get a little flat running or expanding flat in here, and then you can look for your buy. The safest option is to put a buy stop just above the top, but you have to wait until you get that C down for the A, the B, and the C. You have to wait for that C and then put your buy stop at the top. That's the safest way. And then you get the A, B, C. The larger like A, B, C, and we get flat in here. It's really risky, and you definitely, if you're taking the buy, you definitely want to be taking half off. Same as Bitcoin, you definitely want to be taking half off at the top here, and getting it to break even. Now I'll go through the currencies. DXY, we got that C down. I've been saying all along, if you go through my videos, I was always looking for this as a B wave. This C wave here, I wanted this C wave to go and break this top. It never happened. And this is very choppy in here. There's a little flat correction in here. So I didn't really like that as a C wave. So it's been pretty hard to trade. And we're in this channel again. We were in this channel. Now we've broken out of that channel, and we got the A, B, and we got that C down. We're getting that C down. This may not be over yet. If we go down to the lower time frames, so there's the only way you can trade this one is we do have bullish divergence here. We do have a little bit of bullish divergence. So it is coming to an end, but it's not over. There's no... You really need to wait for this trend line break, because this can be a WX. Now this Y may not be over, and then we get another X and then a Z down to finish off this move. So we can get another correction in here before it goes. Gives us another one down to finish off that larger D1C wave down. So it's going to be pretty tricky to trade all the majors pretty much. If we have a look at AU, we're getting a Z up at the moment. It has broken the top, and we're getting bearish divergence. So there's no way you want to be looking for the buy. It's same as DXY. We're getting... we got to wait for the decent setups. the high probability trades, or else you're just going to lose money. So what I'd like to see on this is finish it off this move. So we got an A, a B. If this is a C down to finish off this X, we're getting that Z up now. So we want that Z up. Wait for your trend line break and correction in here, and then look for the sell. GU. I'm looking for this C up. I've been looking for this C up for a long time. I put a GY idea out on TradingView quite a while back. This one here, it's pretty much the same as GU, the GY. I'm looking for that C up, but it's very slow. You can see how slow. It's pretty much exactly the same as GU, and it's very slow. Very difficult to trade. If we have a look at the H1, again, get our trend line. There's no way you want to be buying. We got that bearish divergence. We're getting the bearish divergence. You don't want to go against that divergence. This can keep on, like, if we get an A, this looks like a B here. If we get a C down, and you get a little break up and a little bull flag in here or something, yeah, take that. But you want to be very careful at the moment. It's really, I'll be more interested in the sell when we get this sell here, break of the trend line and the sell. It's very difficult to trade. EU, I've had to change my count on this one. If we go to the H4, this is the one. Last week I said just keep out of it because it's not really clear. And we got this move up. I've had to change my count on this one. I was looking for this as an A, B, C in here, and then we get the C up, but I've changed my count in here to a larger correction in here. If we go down to the H1, we're getting an extended Z wave up. Very difficult to trade because you can see that we're getting these expanding flats in here, in the W and in the X's. We're getting these expanding flats. We are getting bearish divergence here. So it hasn't quite broken this top. On the H4, if we go back to the H4, we haven't quite broken this top. I'd really like to see this top here being broken. Wave A top being broken. We do have room up to the 100 fib. Will it get there? Well, we'll just have to see. But you can really only scalp this on the lower time frames now because we're at a high. We're getting all that bearish divergence on the H1. So yeah, really, this was a really risky trade to take this leg up here, and we can see how choppy it is as well. Really, it's really choppy. So we're getting that bearish divergence. You're not going to get the trend line break. You'd have to wait you'd have to go down to the lower time frames, wait for the trend line break on the lower time frame, get the trend line break before you look for that sell. You want to be watching this trend line here to see if you get more upside or it breaks through and gives you more downside. NU, again, this is really tricky. There's so many different ways this structure can can be, so this may be an A, the B over here, and we're getting the C up now. And this is the A, B, C for the A, B, C in here. But we do have this correction in here. So it's very tough to know exactly what. I'm sort of looking at it as this A, B, and we're getting this C up on the daily. So again, we're getting a lot of bearish divergence. If we go down to H1, you can look for this buy. Very risky. Very risky to buy. This one here, you could have brought this correction here. We were looking to buy this. We got this, but then just have to get out because we're getting all this. We're getting a larger correction in here because we're getting the trend line break. And yeah, so the only way you can trade it is buy stop at the top. And wherever this wave down here ends, use that as your stop loss. Sticks up here too long, just get out for break even, because more than likely it's gonna fall down. So it's going to be really difficult to trade this week. UY, H4. H4, I'm looking at this as the A, B, C up. We're going to get divergence here. We haven't got the cross up on the MACD, but when we do, this is going to give us bearish divergence for more downside. You can look for the trade. You can look for the buy on this one, because on the H1 we do have a nice impulse up. So you can wait for your correction. Whatever correction you get in here, it's too early to tell what sort of correction we're going to get. But if you get the correction, you can look for that buy. Wait for your trend line, flag, and then buy. Now, for the target, you'll be looking at, if we get a target, so there is quite a bit of room up on this 109.18 area. You know, we can look to sort of aim at that area. So yeah, that might be a nice trade this week. You, Sheffy, just stay out of it. This is really choppy. It's not playing the game. UY broke this low. UY broke this low. So we don't have that yet on this. And we know this is corrective. And we will get this A, B, and a C down. But this can still be the internal B wave in here. So this can still go up here and then give another one down for the A, B. Sorry. So for the A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C for a larger correction. Really stay out of this one. It's not clear. It's so choppy. If you were going to look to trade it, you really need to wait for this trend line break. We are getting divergence, bullish divergence. You really need a nice impulse out, correction, before you look to buy. But yeah, very difficult. UCAD, we're still in that channel. We're getting close to bottom of this channel, but I'm looking at it as a WX Y. We're in a Y wave for an A, B, C. So we got an A, B, C in the first X. We've got an A, B, C in the Y wave. So we're getting some sort of a complex correction in here. Now, this one here, this C wave down in here may not be over. Very difficult to trade. You can see how choppy this is. You're just going to get cut to pieces. Very difficult to trade. You can see here on the H1, more than likely this is a flat in here for an A, a B, and a C for a larger A, B, and we'll get that C down to finish off this H4 internal C down before we get that move up. If you get that, you get a trend line break in here, get a little flag or something in here. Yeah, you can take that, and yeah, just watch for this trend line, the top trend line, basically. I'll show you one of the nicer sort of setups that I'm looking at, which is EA. We're looking, there's quite a bit of room up in this one still. We get our fib. So we're looking for this C up around the 170, 125 area. If we go down on the lower time frame, I'm looking at this as a flat, running or expanding flat. More than likely it'd be a expanding flat. So we get the A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C. This might be a nice trade this week. So I thought I'd share you, since there's not much happening on the majors, I thought I'd share you this sort of setup that I'm looking at. We want that C down. Whether you put a buy stop just above this top here, it might not give you the risk reward. So you may have to go down onto the lower time frames, wait for this C down, trend line break, little flag, and then go for it. If you don't get this, just stay out of it, because this can be can go and break this low for because we know that a B wave can break the low, and so you have to be very careful. You got to wait for a nice setup before you take it, because this can go and break the low. It will still give you that C up, but it'll change where the target is. So you're just going to have to be careful. Wait for the setup. Wait for this C down. Go on to the lower time frames. Wait for the impulse up, little correction, and then take the trade. Okay, so be safe out there. It's going to be another difficult trading week this week, I think. We will get a bit of volatility with non-farm payroll, and there is quite a bit of news out this week. So trade safe, and I'll see you out there next week. Enjoy.